Everton Park is very unique in its very own way.
Some of the tenants, they have probably been here for 30, 40 years. And we have new shops, a lot of bakeries, pastry shops, we have clinics, we have an aquarium, we have a soya bean shop.
We are very famous on Kukui
Yeah,
shop as
Jixiang
well.
and Kukui.
We're facing a park, we're facing a school. So it kind of like makes people relax to enjoy their coffees.
In Singapore and like in most parts of the world, as the incomes have grown, they've looked at drinking other styles of coffee. We've had, the use of soluble or instant coffee, which is commonly found in supermarkets in the whole region. Then we have the second wave, where we had companies like Starbucks, Spinelli's, and Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf coming into Singapore, who really brought in a different style of coffee and introducing different origins of coffee. And that layout of their cafes, where it became the third place from home, right? Where you could go there and relax and maybe read your newspaper or turn your laptop on and work from there. And that, of course, has caught on a lot. Now we're in the third wave, where we have specialty coffee cafes opening up all over Singapore. This has really grown in the last, I would say, 3 to 4 years, where a lot of younger people, where they've been traveling, they've been educated overseas, who've come into the coffee industry, because it gives the younger people a room to experiment.
When we first started, we have always wanted to focus on sourcing, looking for good green coffee, roasting, and of course the coffee bar became an extension to showcase the coffees that we source and roast. So over time, it just became part of the community. So it's now a coffee bar / roastery in this HDB estate.
I think in terms of the kind of coffee producing countries around us, it's definitely very useful because we have Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, lots of coffee producing countries that are very, very near to us. But the funny thing is that we chose the hard way. We actually travel halfway around the world to buy coffees like Central America, Colombia, Brazil. So we kind of took the hard way in a way when we first started out. In a nutshell, it's really driven by the fact that we wanted higher quality, but it's also about the sustainability between the relationship of the roaster and the producers themselves. Through these years that we kind of have seen that we build up a community of people just by drinking coffee, people who don't know each other and they'll be standing beside each other having their coffees every morning. I think the whole idea is to make it really casual, not have anything that is distracting from what they're actually enjoying on the table, which is a cup of coffee. But also the person beside them in terms of that communication or don't forget talking to them instead of looking at our phone.
We always joke that standing makes the coffee taste better.
We're located in the Jalan Besar area, and this shop house has been built probably in the early 1930s. It used to be a hardware shop, and this area of course is famous for its churches, temples, funeral parlours. The landlord wanted to preserve the look of the building, and I think when we pitched to him what we're going to do as a F&B, as a coffee roaster, I think we worked well together to come up with such a brand. And many people ask who is Chye Seng Huat. It sounds like a person's name, but it's actually a name given to the hardware space. We have a courtyard where we can put our roastery. And if you look at our cafe, it's a 360 bar, like any other bar where you can gather around and interact with the baristas. We do also have an annex and a retail shop. It's a place where we can have a dedicated retail specialist. So all this was the idea of coming out with the Chye Seng Huat hardware brand. And the name suggests a hardware name, like someone's name, but in essence, in Chinese is Chye Seng Huat as in 再成发, to flourish again, or 再来发. And we wanted to pay tribute and homage to the hardware space in Jalan Besar and not have something too modern that would be a sore thumb, but also blend in with the space where our neighbours are all hardware shops. And we do deal with hardware, right? Grinders, home brewing equipment, they're all part of our coffee hardware. So I think that kind of synergizes our business with the space.
We are a specialty coffee place. I also take great pride in the botanics that we put in place. So all the plants in Glasshouse are real and they take great effort to be taken care of. How Chimes is being designed in a Victoria theme. The structure itself, it's really beautiful facade outside the shop. How we are placed inside is that we use warm colors like wood, white, minimalist concept, and a lot of greens to help make the place really comfortable and really welcoming. So we make it a point to keep things quite minimalist to an extent where people can still focus on the place, the baristas, the product itself.
The goal over here is to make sure that customers can see the entire process, be it from brewing, be it from pouring coffee, pouring milk into coffees, and as well as the roasting process. We believe that, with transparency, it creates curiosity in customers' minds, and hopefully, they will breach that nervousness about asking questions and therefore allow us to share a lot more. So bright lights, a lot of natural sunlight, and obviously, we have this very long, slightly higher bar, but we wanted everything to be transparent.
The specialty coffee side is growing. There's no doubt about it. I think if we look at population ratio, we probably have a lot more specialty cafes than a lot of other countries. There are some very good specialty cafes here where the barista talk to you and explain to you what he's doing, why is he pouring out the hot water in a circular fashion when he's doing a pour over, how's the freshness of the coffee, what's the roast of the coffee, what to look out for when you drink the coffee.
What is unique about Singapore is that we have this penchant for very strong flavors, whereas in other cities I feel that there's a bit more balance, everything's a bit more balanced.
I would dare say that the majority of us have a palate of a darker, chocolatey, nutty kind of flavor profile.
It could probably be the fact that we have a heritage of drinking kopi or local coffee style. So I think traditionally we kind of all gear ourselves towards a coffee that is heavier, a bit darker, a bit slightly more bitter.
I think what is unique about Singapore is that there's the ability to change people's perception. Whereas in other cities, coffee cultures are a bit more developed. Whereas Singapore is I still believe people's palates are still developing. So I think that opportunity to change people's mindset is quite an exciting one.
This is what I always tell my team. Don't tell customers how to drink their coffee. Especially at specialty coffee places, don't add sugar, don't add milk. I always tell them that people drink what they want. We don't like to be told how to drink our coffee.